everyone. My name is Katie of the Greenland Quilter channel, and tonight we are going to be working on our modern Magnolia quilts collaboration with Jess. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce Jess so that she can tell you a little bit about herself and her channel. And then after that, we'll get started.
Yeah, hi, how are y'all doing tonight? Well, I am Jess and I have a channel called So Blessed by Jess, and I am here collaborating with Katie, and we're doing this wonderful Magnolia quilt together. I call it a one block wonder, and it is gorgeous. So I can't wait for you just to see the process and how we're working through it again and who else is working on it. But yeah, like on my channel, you can find tutorials of how to create blocks, and I'm starting to do lives myself. So yeah, I'm here to have fun. It's gonna be great.
Okay. Do you want to show them what colors you're using?
Of course. Yeah. So I'm using, oh, and the funny thing is like UNC and Duke are playing today, which is funny because these are like those colors, but it's not royal blue. But so Columbia blue and then a navy for the outside. So it's really pretty.
So is that a football game, a football team or something?
Basketball.
Oh, basketball.
Yeah.
It's not a
So
fall sport.
yeah. So this is the block that we're making right here, and then you make it 4 times. So it's great. But yeah.
Hello, William. Okay, so yeah. All right. Well, I'll just turn my camera around and you can see the colors that I'm doing with mine. I hope I don't make anyone dizzy.
Mhm.
And I have the first row done, but now I'm back to piecing again.
Oh, that's really pretty. I really liked how you used the red and the yellow accents inside of it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I hope it turns out okay.
it will. Yes, it definitely will.
So is William sewing too?
I don't know.
Are you working on anything, William?
I see it's 1 o'clock his time over there. So, but yeah, let's see. I can't see the chat anymore. I have to go back, show the chat. Boom. Oh. You're funny, William. He calls me Twinny McTwin now.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, it's cute.
Okay. So
Fun.
anyway, I'm going to be working on the colored corners first, and then I'll switch over to the other here directly. I'm pinning them right now so I can chain sew them. That will spend less time wasted. I'm working on a jacket and a few blocks plus laundry. What kind of blocks are you working on?
That's gonna be my next question. You want to try the block that we're making? I don't know. It has a partial seam to it.
Yes, it
He
does.
could totally do it though. He's like an expert.
Speaking of blocks, I was going through the book to pick out four more
Yeah.
blocks for the pole.
Mm-hmm.
I came across one block where there's a partial seam in it, and it's a very intricate block. And I'm thinking, do I want to do it this go around or do we do it the next go around? You know, when we finish the next 4 up. I think I'm
Yeah.
gonna wait till the next pole and do it then, because when you can't really tell that that's got a partial seam unless you see the actual makeup of the block. And I
Mhm.
don't put the makeup of the block on the pole, so it'll be interesting when people like if they choose that one first and then they discover there's that partial seam in there.
I've already made my vote on the poll.
Oh,
So
did you?
yes, I did.
Which one did you vote for?
I voted for #1.
You're not the only one that's been voting for #1.
It's in the lead right now.
Yeah, I hadn't looked today or in the last couple hours. I looked earlier. There wasn't my let me see. Let me go look at that poll. Where did you vote at? In the channel or on the community tab?
I believe on the community tab.
Yeah, let me go have a quick peek at that. And my name is Katie of the Greenland Quilter Channel, and tonight we're going to be working on. Goodbye.
I know, William, there are quite a few people live right now. I know Katie and I were just saying that. So
Yep,
it'll pick up eventually.
taken away from
People will
mine.
come back and watch it. So Saturdays are just becoming very busy. They are.
41% is chose number 1, 29 for option 2, 24 for option 3. I'm surprised about the school being only 6%. I figured that one, some would jump on that one, but it doesn't look like it. That's interesting. But that's okay. That's what I wanted to see. See what people were most interested in,
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Oh, William, UNC plays Duke tonight, since you have a UNC jersey. I don't know if you're partially like one or the other, but Duke's gonna win. Oh, but anywho. All those blocks that you had on your community page, they're really pretty. I could see
Yeah,
them in a lot of different colorways, or
yep,
even like
definitely. This book has some amazing blocks in them, and some of them, when you're looking at them, you're like, it's like the one I just made last night. When you look at it, it's like, oh my God, that looks really hard. And the only mistake that I really made when I was um making it was I got ahead of the picture and realized, I'm like, wait, something's wrong. And then it was because there was 2 half triangles that didn't need to be on there. So once I removed it, I'm like, okay, now it makes more sense. It was because I got ahead of the picture, because there's really not much written. It doesn't tell you how to build a block. It just shows you a picture on how to build a block. So far, still no one in here.
There's 5 people. Oh, there was 5 people.
Well, 3 of them are me.
3 of them are you.
Yeah, I got the TV on and I've got my other laptop on.
Yeah. Do you?
Good way to try to make watch hours.
Katie, it'll come. It is okay.
It might make me cry tonight.
No, it's not the end. It won't be the end of the world. It's
Because normally there's a lot of people in here this time of the day with me, and now there's not.
Yeah, there's just a lot of people that are going live this week. And it maybe with the time change, I don't know. Have
Did the
anything to do with it?
time change doesn't happen till tomorrow, right?
Well, I mean, it's tonight, technically. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know that we're having a time change. We're not supposed to be having a time change. And then because I don't know, this is year 2 or year 3, I think. They decided not to do it anymore. And
Okay.
because it didn't make sense to do it, because by summertime we have 22 hours of daylight, and in the winter months there's no way they could do a daylight savings hour, because you get up to 22 hours of darkness. So what's the point?
Yeah.
And but I didn't catch it until almost August. And what made me catch it is because when I was setting, maybe it was more like June, maybe that's what it was. Suddenly, what should have been 4 hours was 3 hours. And I'm like, what the heck? And when I asked Nikolai about it, he didn't get what I was trying to tell him.
Yeah.
And I said, look at your thing. It didn't change, or it changed and it shouldn't have. So I don't know what they did. They must have did something.
Yeah. I'm really not looking forward to 2 o'clock this evening, because I'll still be up being 3 o'clock in the morning, because that means that's when I need to go to bed.
The time change doesn't really bother me at all. It's when I fly and there's several time zones that I get all mixed.
Yeah.
And there are times, Jess, that I'm still on Eastern Standard Time, like when I'm setting up my lives or whatever.
Yeah.
I have set my Zoom to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time instead of 7 p.m. Greenland time. I've done that countless times. And then somebody sent me a message. Did you know you went live this morning and you weren't there?
Oh,
Like, oh no.
I'm sorry.
Like, oops.
Time like time change like that doesn't really bother me. Like when I fly time zones and things,
Mm-hmm.
I acclimate very easily to that. Um, I tend not to be very tired. I don't know, because maybe because I sleep on the plane. Like that's all I do is sleep on planes. So,
Well, the long haul flight, I might get 4 hours because that's not, it depends. If you're flying to the East Coast, it's about 9 hours. And if I fly to California, it's 11. And so I might sleep maybe 4 or 5 hours. I'm not much, I can't, I don't sleep because people bump me or the person behind me is putting their knees in my back. So I don't sleep much. It just bothers me. But I do put I bought some of those noise canceling earphones and I put music in my ear or an audible in my ear and I take a crocheting project with me and I keep my hands busy and my brain busy listening and that helps me get through the flight a lot better.
hmm.
Because it's not flying that's the problem, it's people on the airplane is the problem.
Oh, okay.
Because I enjoy helicopter flights, but because we're not on top of each other.
Hmm. I always get the I tend to always get the window seat for some weird reason. Like I
Yeah,
never choose um my seats or anything like that. And
yeah,
I
I
just
choose mine. I
yeah.
make sure I'm in front of the wing, not behind it.
Um yeah, it doesn't matter where I am on the airplane either. I mean, do I really like being in the back? Not so much because it takes forever to get off. But I always end up being near the window. Like I don't know why people don't want to be by the window.
I used to like being by the window, but since they shrunk the seats and everything,
Yeah.
it's hard to climb over people when you got to go to the bathroom. And one of the things I usually like when I was flying with Norwegian Air before pandemic happened, I would get they call it it wasn't first class, it was like the next one behind it because the
Business
seat was
or
kind of bit bigger and
yeah.
there was less people in that area because that Dreamliner is huge
Yeah.
and you're allowed to get up and walk that entire thing, which I spent a lot of time doing because you need to get up. Sitting 11 hours is a bad idea. And so it was, and this particular jet, you couldn't even hear the engine. It's so quiet, and the ambient lighting they had in it, it was so relaxing. But now that Norwegian Air doesn't do long haul,
Mhm.
um, my option is Delta Air, and Delta Air's planes are just mediocre. But
Um,
come June,
yes, you're
it'll
gonna.
be Air Greenland and United Airlines.
Hmm. Yes.
The Air Greenland has an A380 Neo, and that one's not too bad to fly in.
Okay.
I think they're about to buy another one if they can get their act together. Right now, everything's really terrible with flying. It took Nikolai, let's see, he didn't leave. He was supposed to have left on Saturday. He didn't
Yeah.
leave here until Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. Then he was in Nuke 2 days. Then it ended up being that they flew him to Denmark. He spent the night there. Then he got flown to Iceland. all
Mhm.
because the weather over the Atlantic between off the East Coast and or between Nuke to where they got to go where the ship is in Iceland, the weather in the atmosphere was really volatile,
Yeah.
and so they couldn't fly through that. There was, and they can't exactly go around it, I guess.
No, I wouldn't want to.
And this is the time of the year when March is always one of the worst months for weather problems. February and March,
Yeah.
usually. And the other bad time is usually around October because the weather's changing back to winter.
Yes.
And now we're about to come out of winter back into spring. You know what the temperature is outside today?
A blistering. Mm,
Blistering 42 degrees.
I was gonna say 40. Oh, I was so close.
Yeah, I walked out the door to take Nora to the bathroom, and I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, there's no snow on the deck. And when I walked out, I'm like, I got it. When it starts melting like that, I have to watch when I step down because if it pops my knee the wrong way, it hurts. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I don't even know how warm it got today, but I've been working. Oh, I've been cooking and cleaning and doing it all. Um, oh, it got up to 67 degrees today.
Well, that's a nice temperature. I love the 60s in the state. I
Yeah.
loved it when Florida would be around 60, between 60 to, well, I actually didn't mind 50-degree temperatures, but plants don't like it at 50 all the time, but because I'd be gardening. But 50s and or 60s and 70s are perfect.
Hmm. Hi, Melissa. How are you doing today?
Melissa, how are you? Welcome to the channel. Yeah, we might have all these little pieces done before it's over with, and then it's just making sure that I sewed them on there. You know, sometimes these stitched and flips don't go the way you want them. You think you
Hmm.
got everything all lined up, and then when you go to fold it over to check it, it's not lined right. And I don't know why that is, because you did what you were supposed to do to make sure it did.
Hmm. Um, are you drawing lines and
Yep.
then are you sewing one thread length to the outside of that line?
Yeah, for the most
Right
part.
on the line.
But they still sometimes end up off.
Yeah. I notice that when I sew on the line, I'm off, but if I sew right to the um,
Hi, M. Fannin. Welcome to the channel.
hi, how are you?
Let me see here.
If I sew right to the like on the outside, then I can make it. I can make it. So there's one.
I'm doing all the colored ones first, and then I'll go switch over to the other part of it.
I just have to remember that I have to make some half blocks because I just want to make them all whole blocks.
Oh, yeah, because you're using your little tool.
Yeah. Well, and they're all the same.
Uh-oh, this is turned the wrong way. I better pay attention, or I'll have these all turned the wrong way.
Melissa said that they move for her as well.
Yep, it's
Block.
like they sometimes move, and even though I have them pinned, they still. But I use two pins, not a bunch of them, so that might be why it still moves.
Hmm.
And I mean, I could use glue, but I don't like wasting fabric. I would like to be able to take this other side and make. I have a like this is what I like to do with them. Uh, I take them and I sew them all together,
Hmm.
and later I'll take them and make little mini half square triangles out of them, and then I'll sew them into a scrap quilt.
Yeah. I was making a quilt one time and I had hundreds of those. And I was like, oh, I could make garland for like this little itty bitty Christmas tree if I
Yeah.
just flipped it the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's all Kim Deal fabric, so it's all like reproduction fabric. So it's really
Yeah.
pretty. And I don't know if I ever got rid of it or not, but
It's not. It's because there may come a day where I can't buy any fabric and I'll need something to sew
Yeah.
because of tariffs and everything else.
Yep.
Hello, Norma. Welcome, welcome.
Hi,
A couple
Norma.
that are new to being in here. First time here, what are y'all doing? We are working on a modern quilt called Magnolia, and I'll show you a black and white picture of it because me and Jess are using our colors, and this is what the pattern looks like. And basically, it consists of, let me see if I can find a picture of that block. We're basically putting these blocked units together.
Yeah, so and so what we're doing is we're creating one block, and it's just one block over and over again, and depending how we lay it out, it'll create this beautiful magnolia. So here's a picture, here's like my version of it. So I'm doing the Columbia blue and the navy, and it's just one block that I just do over and over again, and we put it together like this. So it's really pretty. And the one block is that right there.
Yep,
So
just one block over and over again.
yeah.
And then I'll show you mine because I'm doing mine different. And I'm sorry to make you dizzy.
No worries.
And this is my first row.
That's really pretty.
It's coming out really good. It's going to be interesting. And I think I'm going to send it to Sherry for
Yeah.
quilting because I think she can do something interesting with it to
Hi,
show
Sheila.
off the way the design of the pattern itself. Hey Sheila, welcome, welcome. Just popping in real quick to say hi after watching y'all's last one. I now need that triangle ruler. We'll watch on replay.
So Sheila, you can also take any ruler as long as it has a 1/4 inch marking on it. You can use that too. So you don't have to go ahead and buy that $19 ruler, even though it's amazing and it's a great tool to use. But as long as you can just intersect the corners with that 1/4 inch, I should have my other, probably should have put my other camera up, but it's okay. And then you can use that to do your cutting. But either way works good. Either way. I really like my corner clipper ruler, which I've accidentally misplaced right now, Sheila, and I don't know where it is.
Now hold on a minute, Helen. I'll get the link for it out of the description box. 1 minute. Let me go get it.
So I don't know where that is, and I don't know where my 28mm rotary cutter is, my favorite one.
That's the
So
small one, right?
yeah, it's, I was
I
like, what
have a
did I
small
do with
one.
them? I'm like, I must have stuck them in a box. I must have stuck them with a project. Yeah, I don't know. Don't know.
Alrighty, because this is here. Should
Look
be able
at
to find that in the
everything I've done.
description.
Hi, hi, Michelle the Quilter. How are you doing today? Welcome in. Hi, Charlotte. But
Hey Charlotte. I thought I had it in the description box. Manual. There we
Sheila, I use that same that ruler for everything. Everything. So yes, I would never be without one. So if I can't find it within the next week, you know, I'm probably gonna get back on Amazon and get one. Can't live without it.
Okay, I'm posting the link for the pattern in the chat, and then I'm going to go stick it in the bot before I forget about it. All right, let me go find the bot. And that way, I can just type in the type exclamation to bring it up. Okay, we're going to do a new command.
You need the 28mm for the Art East and the Elizabeth Hartman. Absolutely. Yes. I don't know, Melissa, if you were following me when I was doing the dinosaur quilt. 'Cause we haven't talked in forever.
Hi,
But
Fern King. Welcome, welcome. For those of you who have channels, all you have to do, and I'm gonna type it in here, is type exclamation selfie to share your channel.
yeah.
And I need to put that in the bot too.
Yes. Hi, friend. How are you doing tonight? I gotta think, is it afternoon or night for some of these friends? Probably more of the afternoon. Hey, Sherry, how are you doing on the other side of North Carolina? Oh, Jess and friends keep me up late last night. Did we keep you up late last night, or did you just were having so much fun you didn't want to get off? Hmm. We probably had you going. Oh, yes, it was beautiful, wasn't it, Melissa? But we know Sherry, deep down inside, you just want to come hang out with us. You can and he invites everyone onto the channel. So, if you're feeling a little froggy tonight and you want to come hang out, it's your call.
So he lets anyone on there?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, yeah. That's why, I mean, that's his invitation, but yeah.
Hey,
I
Sherry. She says she's tired today.
I bet you are. And and time changes back today. So we're going to be even more tired tomorrow. So, but we'll get through it. Yes, we will. Oh no. Okay. All right. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
We don't exclude people or try to sell cheap stuff.
That's right.
Who sells cheap stuff?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't.
Um, nope. Everyone is welcome.
But we have more daylight, says Melissa.
Oh, more daylight.
There's going to be lots of grumpy people. Hey,
Yes.
Simone, welcome.
Hey, girl, you're never late. Never late. Um, I'm really looking forward to, but see, I just can't wait for the daylight to be in the evening because right now, I mean, it's going to make us go an hour earlier. So it's going to be lighter when I go to school than it normally is. And I'm okay with how light it is right now. So,
What keeps kids from having to stand in the dark?
yeah.
Unfortunately.
I mean, I think
Because
that's
I
the
know
reason why.
in Florida they would be in the darn dark. So I was always welcoming the daylight savings because I put my kids back in the daylight. Because
Yeah.
it creeps me out when your kids are standing at the bus stop and there's always a chance of somebody hitting them.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, hopefully they're not standing on the road. So,
You know how kids are.
yeah, oh yeah, I do, unfortunately, yes. But yes,
Not standing
unfortunately.
supervising, someone's going to stand in the road. Let
Um,
me let me tell you how funny it is about the road thing.
mhm.
When tourists come here, they all act like they're deers in headlights. They all stand in the middle of the road, and I do not understand that. It's like when they come, they expect life to stop for them, and that doesn't happen because people work.
Yeah.
And so we're constantly saying, please get out of the road, please get out of the road. You're going to get hit. And we shouldn't have to tell adults that.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. And when you have a ship that's got 3,000, more than our population, and you have almost all of them standing in the middle of the road, the locals get kind of upset because it prevents them from doing their job. because a lot of them are contractors, or you got one that drives a bus that, wheels everybody around that wants to use the public bus,
Mm-hmm.
running anyway. And we have lots of taxi drivers. You have probably at least 10 taxi drivers. And sometimes they can't keep up on when everybody gets paid at the first of the month and they're shopping at the store.
Yeah.
It's not unheard of for your phone to say, "You are number 28." I'm like, oh my goodness, everybody. Or if it's really, 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 really bad weather, the taxi makes a lot of money then too, because everybody's using the taxi,
Mm-hmm.
including myself. And when I go shopping, I use the taxi.
I don't know what I would do if I didn't have my vehicle. Like,
Well, I have adapted to the
no
idea of
purpose.
not having one, but we are going to buy us a UTV at some point,
Yeah.
because there's a company up in Sissy that's selling both ATVs and UTVs, and we're going to buy a UTV
Mm-hmm.
because then I could just use that and I don't have to pay the engine tax or the gas tax there's all kinds of taxes that come with cars. That's
Well,
why more people own boats here than they do cars. Probably about 70% of our population here in this town has a boat and not a car. The other 25% have cars.
hi, Kelly. How are you doing? Welcome in.
Good to see you. Her job's going to be kicking up with all tourism starting to happen. Let me see here. Who else came in that I didn't say hi to? I think I caught everybody. Sherry, what are you working on today? I know you said you were tired, but are you working on anything? What's everyone working on? And don't forget to do the poll up top.
Sherry, did you end up going to that quilt show in the capital city quilt show this week? Because for some weird reason, it wasn't even on my radar, girl. Like, I have no idea where my brain was this week. Well, I can tell you it was at school, but in softball season. But I kind of feel bad that I didn't get to see it.
They had a quilt show in North Carolina.
Yeah, it's called the Capital City Quilt Show.
So does that mean it's at the capital of?
It's in Raleigh.
Oh yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
ask.
it's probably, yeah.
Raleigh's the capital, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had these expectations of Raleigh being this big, huge city,
No,
especially because it was
no.
the capital, and it's not. I was like, totally. I'm like, next time I'm coming, this chickadee's gonna be exploring.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful city. If I was if I was to go around Raleigh, I'd probably go to NC State and go all the downtown area with the college students and stuff. That's really pretty. And they've just like revitalized that whole area. And then um the Greenway in Cary is a really pretty walking area to go through.
There's that big, huge house. I forget the name of it.
The Biltmore.
Yeah, they built more because they have a botanical gardens with it. And oh my God, I want to go see it.
Yeah, that is 3.5 hours away from Raleigh.
It's
Maybe more.
3 hour drive, really?
Yeah, 3.5 hour drive.
Oh, I didn't know it was so far away.
In the mountains. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man, I want to go to y'all's natural. I think it's called the Natural History Museum or something like that.
Yeah. That's in downtown Raleigh. And then Duke University has a beautiful botanical gardens, and so does UNC.
Good,
So you
because I want to
always
go
go.
do those.
Hmm.
I'll have to drag you with me.
I shall be your tour guide
Come on,
for
Jess, join
the
me to
day.
go to the botanicals, and then I'll get to be in your ear the whole time. I know what this, and this is.
Yeah. You'll be like, just show me where all the hot spots are. And I'm like, okay, let's go.
Yeah, we get in a car and we go,
And just go.
because that's why I'm definitely planning to try to spend a week there.
Hmm.
And I have this brilliant idea. Since the Mid-Atlantic show, I think that's what it's called. The one in Virginia?
Yeah, that was like
It's
that was
like a week behind, I guess, QuiltCon. It might be. I asked Sean what the driving distance was between Raleigh and where he lives at. He said it was 2 hours, and to
yeah.
go to the convention, it's another additional hour, I think.
So it's just north of him.
Yeah, so it would be a doable drive.
Yeah, yeah, that's doable. Because you can get to DC in like 4.5 hours, depending on traffic.
Yeah,
My house, and I live centralized North Carolina. So I still have to I have to get to the interstates first. And that's what takes me the longest.
did
But
you see what Pete said? He says, I do romantic too.
oh, so the Capital Quilters Guild put it on. Interesting. I do want to become part of a guild somewhere somehow. So I
Yeah,
can just learn and learn from people.
yep.
I just yeah. I mean, YouTube's wonderful. YouTube's great. Love it. But I love the challenge. Fern's still working on EPP. Shalona is doing some slow stitching and she's doing more and more and more of it. I love her slow stitching. She showed a little bit um, to me when she did some smocking and it looked really cute.
The
Um,
smocking is a cool skill.
yeah, she's very talented. Shalom is
I
very, very,
bought some I bought some patterns the last time I was in the States to make me some shirts. I
yeah.
thought about taking a couple of, in fact, I bought 4 yards of a turquoise purplish
Mhm.
um batik and the batik seems a lot. I noticed with batiks, people are going like, you're gonna make a shirt out of batiks. Listen, the more you mess with batik, this is what I've noticed because I've been doing this for a while now. It softens. It really does just during the sewing process. But by the time you press it, cut it, sew it, press it again, then sew it all together, then press it again. By the time you get to that last press where you have your whole quilt top, it's not stiff anymore. It's nice and soft. So if you throw it in the wash machine, it's going to soften
Yeah.
more. So I was thinking I bought a tunic pattern is what I did because I love wearing tunics. And it's a button down the front tunic. And I'm going to take that turquoise purple batik and I'm going to trim it with a color that'll make the whole thing pop. And I'm going to make a tunic out of it because I think it'll be lovely.
Be wonderful. Wonderful.
And
She
Sherry
did
says she's working on
cotton.
cotton cuts this morning, and then she pulled out Magnolia, but she's not sewing on it yet. I'm glad you're sewing with us though. That's good. I didn't know how many people are actually doing the Magnolia, or I should put up a poll and ask that question,
Yes.
or either put for those of you that are actually sewing the Magnolia, if you want to, you can either, and I'll put my email in here. I'll put my email for those who do not Facebook, and you can email me a picture of where you are with your Magnolia, and I'll put it up on the community tab of YouTube. For
Yeah.
those of you who have Facebook, you can just put in the search button Greenland Quilter and you'll find the Facebook group and you can post your pictures there of what you're working on with the Magnolia. Also, if you're working on projects, please put them into the Facebook group and also you can email your projects to me and I'll put them up on the community tab because we're about to hit the first quarter of 2025 and I'm going to do a first quarter live and we're going to have a trunk show and I'm going to
Amazing.
show everybody's handiwork. And it doesn't have to just be exclusively quilts. If you're crocheting something or you're doing some kind of craft and you come in here and you sit in my channel and stuff, you're welcome to share it over there. If you want to, or either email it and I'll definitely put it up.
Oh, cool. Um, let's see. Kelly just got something to eat, and Henry is right there beside her, staring at her. And then Linda. Hi, Linda. How are you doing? I just get to
Hey,
say hi to
Linda.
you. She just got dinner in her pressure cooker, and so she can sit down and relax for a little bit. How's your sewing coming along?
It's coming along pretty good. I mean, I'm back to doing piecing again so that I can make more blocks.
Hi, Lori. How are you doing? Welcome in. Thank you for
Hey,
coming
Lori.
in. Yes. Um, and then Linda also said that she is working on number 3 block from the Sew Becca. I did not, I know that Sew Becca's doing blocks, but I didn't know. I haven't really been following her for the last few times she's been on. Just been really busy on Friday nights. Um, and now that she's working on the quilt that she would like, that she saw from Christine on the Scrap Fabric Love. Ooh, I'm gonna have to go look at that girl, see what's going on. Um, Melissa says that she's not doing the quilt yet. And oh, hi Tasha, how are you doing? Welcome in. Thank you so much for coming along. Lurking's good.
Tasha.
Lurking's good. What? Um, and then Shalom said that she's got a lot of junk in her trunk. Oh, Shalom.
So
Crazy.
I've been talking to Andy of Crafty Witch. He's a
Yeah.
crocheter, and I crochet too. That's evident by the thing on the wall.
Yeah.
But so for a while there, I don't know, maybe 2 years, I had a subscription box to Little Box of Crochet, and then she stopped doing them because they were they were a two-woman team, but they were also partners, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were married or not. I'm not sure. But the main the woman who started it, she passed away from cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And so that left her partner to continue on with the business. And at some point she couldn't do it because it was too it hurt too much.
Yeah.
Everything about it reminded her of her, and it was she was having such a rough time of it. So she stopped doing the subscription altogether. But then I went to see if by any chance maybe she started back up on it. And I can't figure out whether she's actually doing it or if she's not doing it. It's strange. But these little boxes, I'll show you, they did a box every month, but then at 2 times a year they would do what I can't remember what exactly it's called, but I'll show you. I can show you a big one. But
Mm-hmm.
there was one for Christmas, and I think the other one was for spring. Hold on a minute. Let me go get it.
Sounds a lot like what the Fat Quarter Shop does.
Yeah, it's similar, yes. So the reason I brought it up is because I think what I'm going to do, since I have not done any of the boxes, yeah, you buy subscription boxes and then you don't make them, you know. But this is one of the big ones, and then I have one that's a Christmas box.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a full kit, and it comes with a these books, and these books tell you what to do in it, and it's got pictures, the whole 9 yards in here. It tells you how to put it together. So this one's called. This is a little seaside one. So that's what you're gonna make.
Oh, that's really
So I
pretty.
thought since Andy crochets and she likes to make origamis and stuff. I thought and I've already talked to her. I think we're going to do a collaboration, and I'm going to start crocheting these boxes and get them done. And it might take a long time to get them all done, but it'll be something different for those who don't sew but like to crochet.
Yeah, give people another outlet on your channel.
Mhm.
I know I've
Because
thought
that's one of
about
my
that.
hobbies.
Yeah. I don't crochet, I don't knit, the only thing I do is this wonderful, beautiful machine and quilting.
The
Um,
other thing I want to do so bad, and I don't know how to set the camera system up to do it, is I love to cook. And
mhm.
I'm always creating new recipes myself. And my husband will tell you that they are very, very good recipes. And I've only ever made one. I did make one that was a total bomb, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. But um, I want to do like a few videos of me creating some of my dishes so people can see how to do it. The only problem is I don't measure anything when I'm doing it, and I generally cook enough when I'm making it. It could probably feed four instead of two because we
Yeah.
end up having when we have dinner, we'll have enough left over to have like a midnight snack or something, or save it for the next day to have for lunch. And so I don't have any sense of how many it's going to feed, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
And so I don't know if that will cause a problem for most people when they're watching it. She doesn't measure anything, you know, but I can tell you what to do, like use a whole onion, use so many shallots, use so many garlic cloves, you know, and I use this much of this vegetable and this much of this vegetable, you know.
Yeah.
And maybe I should take the time to, I don't know, measure some of it. But with onions and shallots, you just do it by whatever, however. Some people don't like a lot of onion taste. Some people love lots of onion taste. You know what I'm saying? Or lots of garlic. My sister would make red sauce, and when my kids would spend the weekend with her because she had made spaghetti,
Yeah.
my kids would come home reeking of garlic. That's how strong, how much garlic she would put in that red sauce.
My type of girl right there. That's my type of girl. I love
And I'm
this.
like, oh my God.
Um, I
I'm
mean, I
like,
like
did you put enough
flavor.
garlic in your stuff?
I like flavor altogether anyway.
Yeah, me too.
Um,
It has to be tasty. And I think that's why I like to
yeah.
mess around by doing that. And I discovered any of you who have never eaten tarragon in anything, if you
Mhm.
go to your grocery store, you can either buy tarragon fresh or you can buy it where it's been dried, but it's in a little container.
Yeah.
Do you know what tarragon goes good with? When you make a vegetable stir fry that incorporates spinach,
Okay.
haricots, which is baby green beans, mushrooms, onions, shallots, and butter. And right at the last part of the cooking process, when you're putting the beans on last, if you put tarragon in there, it makes everything like the flavor explodes. There's just something about putting tarragon in it that makes it so yummy.
Yeah.
All right, let me make sure these are okay. Hang on a minute. I need to sit back down again before I start chopping.
Oh, my contacts are like fogging. You ever,
Hi,
no,
fish
no,
thanks.
it's just me. Oh, is it Ellie Fish?
Yeah, I
Okay.
can't tell if that's Ellie fish or L fish.
Yeah. Ellie
My
Fish. Thank
eyesight sucks when it comes to some of those letters.
you for stopping in and hanging out. Um, Shalom says a lot of the time, when cooking, you can do it by, how it feels. Exactly
Yeah,
how I feel about that. Some people ask me for a recipe and I was like, oh, that's a Jessica recipe. I don't know if I can give that to you because I have no idea. I'm just like you,
yeah.
have no idea how I made it. It's delicious and I can recreate it, but it's just made with love. Um, because when I make this broccoli, so it's like broccoli, I can't remember. We call it broccoli salad and it has curry and stuff in it. But they always ask me how much curry I put in it. And I was like, I don't know, half the bottle.
Probably have to bottle. Yeah, like when I make curry sauce to go with salmon
I was just
or
like,
curry. Yeah, when I
yeah,
do that, I couldn't tell you how much because I keep tasting it and it's like, not strong enough. Pour more in there. Try it again. Nope, not strong enough. Pour more in there.
Kelly says that she uses a ton of garlic all the time and it helps keep the vampires away. You know about those vampires up in Canada.
Yeah, those mosquitoes, which we'll be seeing pretty soon again. The body snatching mosquito. First time I saw those mosquitoes here, I told Nicola, I'm like, oh my God, the males are huge, but the males don't bite you. It's the females that nail you. And it's
Um,
crazy. And they hurt when they bite you.
like I'll get bit once in a while by mosquitoes and stuff, but I could be right next to somebody and they can get eaten alive, and then here I am just like, oh. I think I really do believe that there is a blood type that mosquitoes is not attracted to. Like I project pheromones of some sort that they're like, ooh, so stay away from that girl. We don't
What's
like
your
her.
blood type?
I'm B positive.
Oh, you're one of those rare ones. I'm a
So
universal donor.
I'm rare.
Mine's negative.
You didn't know I was rare. I'm just a rare person, Katie.
I used to donate blood when I would donate my blood.
Yeah.
Um I'm one of the very few that didn't have a certain not a disease, it's something in your most humans have in their blood, and their blood can't be given to um neonatal units because it would harm a baby. But
Oh,
my blood was missing that. And so they would call me, I need your blood. We have need in the neonatal. And I'm like, well, why? And they told me, and I'm like, oh. And then I don't know, I was donating for at least 2 years, and all of these need to be redone. So I guess I've been giving blood for about 2 years, and one day when I went in, they said, your blood is so rare and special because it's missing these things. We would really love it if you would give freezes, which means they take your blood out, they separate the plasma, and then they put the rest of the blood back in you
oh,
and keep the plasma because
oh,
they can use it
heebie-jeebies.
for cancer and stuff, especially cancer in kids.
Yeah.
And so I probably did it for a year, but every time I did it, I would be it was like for 3 or 4 days afterwards, it was like I had no energy. It was like a piece of my life force got took. And, after about a year and a half of doing it, I stopped doing it because I didn't like the way it made me feel for days after.
Yeah.
It was the hottest sensation. And I can't really explain what I mean by that, but it was just, it would wear me down and I couldn't function properly.
Mhm.
And O negative is so needed because it can be used with everybody's blood type.
Yeah, I think that's what my grandpa had. Tasha said that the mosquitoes have the blood that they love. So whatever.
It's, oh,
So her
Sean
blood
said
type is there.
RH negative, RH, yep, factor is the presence or absence of a certain protein. Yep.
Mhm.
It was something that I didn't have in mind they could use with newborns
Mm,
or premature baby.
yeah.
And there's not that many people that have that or are able to do that. So it's really rare thing.
Shalom's a nurse.
I
So
didn't know you were a nurse.
yeah, she has a lot of that experience.
Lucky job of ripping all these seams out. Oh my goodness. It's okay though.
I
It's
wasn't a
okay.
teacher. I probably would have been a nurse.
When I was wanting to do all this plant education stuff and everything because I wanted to teach it, I should have took up respiratory therapy too since I'm an asthmatic because I
Yeah.
probably would have been good at it. Because, I did a lot of studying up on the medicine they were giving me for my asthma and for every
Mhm.
time I had pneumonia.
Yeah. But we're getting blood types in here now. Let's
O
see.
plus,
Lori is
A
O
minus.
negative. Shalom's O positive. Fern is A negative.
Nice.
Look at we are a community full of different types. Yeah.
It's a good thing too because, when someone needs blood, at least there's some donors out there.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are young and healthy, go donate blood.
I always
It's,
pass out when I get blood. So
I have to not look at them putting the needle in my arm.
I'm okay with that. It's just that when I'm almost done with filling the bag, I pass right out every single time. So they're always giving me smelling salts. So I guess like that's, I don't know.
That's
If somebody
interesting.
needed me to pass out, just I guess let me get blood. So
My mother was like a 5 gallon donor. She donated for so long because hers was O negative, and
yeah.
all of my kids have O negative blood. But as far as I know, none of them give. Well,
But it,
Thomas did for a while, but I don't think the girls have.
I mean, it didn't matter what I ate, how much water I drank, how hydrated I was, like nothing. I've tried everything.
And you'd still
Um, I still
out.
know. So my when they used to come to my high school, my history teacher, he had a record that he could fill up a bag in 11 minutes.
Wow.
And because he would get his blood pressure going or, his blood pumping so hard because he would go running and then go, come on, let's do it right now. Um, and then he
Oh, so
told the
he would
kids, if
exercise
anybody can
before he
beat me,
went.
yeah, yeah, he was because he wanted to get in and out as fast as he could.
That's interesting. I didn't know you could do that and it'd be safe.
Yeah, like he would fill out all the paperwork and then go running. Um, but he would tell the students if anybody can beat me, then I'll give them a free 100 on something. No one could. No one could. They tried. Those boys tried. Let me tell you. Oh, it's fun. O negative is a universal donor. Absolutely, yes, it is.
Yep.
And but you cannot get any blood. I understand
Nope,
that.
you can't. It
And
has to be
Rita
O
does
negative.
Rita does not like needles. Yeah. My blood pressure elevates. It's like I have white coat syndrome. I don't like going to the doctors. And my blood pressure is always high until after the doctor sees me, and then they have to take it again just to make sure I'm human and I'm okay.
That what Rita just said, that would freaking hurt. You know what hurts more is when I was in the hospital with pneumonia, they would
Mhm.
come in and they would do what they call a oxygen blood count, and they would
Yeah.
take this needle and they were look there's a certain artery in here in your well, you got it all over your body, but they would go in my arm to get at it, and they would
Yeah.
get at this artery, and it is the most painful, uncomfortable thing when they're doing it, but it gives them accurate oxygen numbers versus using the little thing on the end of the finger. But it hurts when they do it
Mm.
because with asthma and my kind of asthma, it's tricksy sometimes.
Rita says she has to do a lot of her labs and they take it from her hand. Oh, people are coming home. My watch is vibrating. Um, and then Shalom says she must have wiggly veins and because Shalom has wiggly veins. Um, Fern said my sister had break, a car break, and they had to give her, she got into a car accident and they had to give her blood and she was flown to St. Louis. Mm,
Wow.
thing. And then Rita said, you would think with as many surgeries if I had that I would be used to needles. It just, it doesn't hurt her hand when they put them in.
Definitely. I remember having IVs in my hands because they couldn't, when I first would get hospitalized,
Hmm.
they couldn't get out a vein properly.
Yeah,
And I'm like, after about a day or two of it being in my hand, I'm like, y'all got to find another spot because it hurts too much. Couldn't stand it.
yeah.
Didn't like the pain that it made.
Hmm. Yeah, white coat syndrome does stink. It really does, Melissa. Like I'll be on my way to the doctor's and I'm sitting in my car and I'm driving. And usually I'm like at a cool like 60 beats a minute, maybe even less than that, because I'm just chilling. I'm just relaxed and everything. Every time I get close to my doctor's office, I'm at 140. 140 every single time.
Sounds like you don't
I
like
get
doctors too much.
I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me. Well, I do. I love my doctor too. Oh, Dr. Rodriguez is amazing. If anybody come to Raleigh and you need a doctor, I got you. I got you the best doctor in the world. He is amazing. And I love him to death. And so I don't understand why I have such an issue with it. But I'm not a doctor person. If I'm sick, I just ride it out.
It could be that, and it could be something from your childhood that you don't remember. I can
Yeah.
tell you that Thomas, because he was, born with that breathing problem that he had,
Mhm.
that he was so traumatized before it was all over with because it got where they had to strap him to a table to get an IV in him.
Yeah.
And then they would kick me out of there because I would get hysterical because I couldn't deal with the screaming he was doing. And I'm like, you're hurting my son, and I wanted to knock them all out.
Yeah.
And so they would put me out of the room to keep me from doing something wrong. But I
Yeah.
could hear him screaming all the way. They would send me back to his room, and I could hear him screaming all the way down there.
Oh, I wouldn't have left, but I would have just held him on. I would held him as tight as I could so that he wouldn't move so that we can just get it over with. I had to do that with
He,
Emma,
yeah, he just was a
my
handful when
youngest.
it came to it.
Yeah. It's hard when they can't see your veins too, because um my daughter's veins, they're down. They're down there. Like you can't see them from hers.
Yep.
Like mine, I mean, you can see everything on me. But
Sometimes they would put him in his foot because they couldn't get it up anywhere in his arm or anything.
mm, yeah. Let's
But
see.
when he had his surgery, all that sickness stopped. The surgery fixed the problem. And
Mhm.
this wouldn't have went on for 6 years if the doctor had listened to me to start with. I kept telling him, you need to send him to an ears, nose, and throat doctor because I think that's why he stopped breathing. And they didn't do it until it escalated with me having to call an ambulance because he wasn't breathing at all and I couldn't get him breathing again. That's
Mhm.
why he has a learning disability.
Be part of it. Yeah. Hmm.
I was talking to him yesterday and I was talking about you need to make sure Blaze checks out books and because Blaze told me he likes reading and that made me happy to hear that. And I told him, I said, you need to make sure Blaze checks out books from the library and you sit down with him and let him read to you. And he says, and he made a comment. He says, Mom, I don't read. I said, it doesn't matter. Have him read to you. Promote the reading process.
Um, and then I would always have him pick out something that's a lot of children, their biggest opportunity is nonfiction reading when
Yep.
it comes to testing and all that stuff. So um, they all like the Dogman books, all those comic
Those
graphic novel
anime
books.
ones too.
They're huge right now, and
Yep.
but I really the kids aren't growing. So I figured if you're going to get a graphic novel, then you need to get something else that's actually going to enrich your
Yep.
knowledge and your history, just your brain. Only so much Dogman can do. So that's my story, and I stick into it.
I'm really happy that they almost got him caught, or that he'll be all the way caught up when he hits fourth grade.
Yeah.
I asked Thomas if they were going to cut off his read because he has three reading teachers that are working with him,
Mm-hmm.
and if that was going to stop when they hit fourth grade. And he said, according to the counselor that also counsels Blade,
Mm-hmm.
that he probably will continue to have that additional help next year just to make sure that what he's how all that progress he's made doesn't fall backwards.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say. Like he'll get to a certain point, and then instead of going like maybe a half hour 3 times a week, it's like a half hour 1 time a week. And then they
Yeah,
see that and they'll keep monitoring him but they won't take him off completely. Even if they do take him off the schedule, somebody will always be monitoring him.
yeah. because this school seems to be really big time on promoting, making sure every student doesn't fall behind,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to reading. And everything I've read on the webs or on there's several places that talk about this particular school that it gets a lot of great feedback on how they work with students, making sure that by the time they graduate from high school, they're functional, not a non-reader or doesn't quit school because they can't read or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's probably why they call it a gold star school.
Hmm.
We were just lucky that we chose a particular town that had one. And that wasn't the reason I chose that town. I chose the town because out of all the towns in Georgia, it mentioned that that one was the most. It was an educational town, number one, because they have a college there also, and number two, it didn't have a high crime rate, and because it's so close to Atlanta and everything.
Yeah.
There was a few reasons, and I thought, and I'm glad because Thomas says he likes the town all right. And there's places that he can take his son that's just outside on the outskirts. There's a couple of like what do you call them? Where people take their families and go do things.
Go where?
Like when you go to Disney, that kind of thing. There's a couple little small places that they can go, and
Like amusement parks?
yeah, there's
Hmm.
a couple really small ones.
Yeah. Um, well, that's wonderful. I like that idea with the amusement parks.
Now, will they go to an amusement park? I don't get Thomas out of the house. That's the problem. Crowds kind of bother him, I think. I'm trying to think if he's ever been to Disney World. I don't know that he has. He's um Now when I took them to California, I took him to the San Diego Zoo, and he loved that. The funny thing about the San Diego Zoo, we just happened to be there at the right time of the year, and those big, huge tortoises they haven't. They're so big. Oh my God,
Hi,
they're
Gladys. How are you
humongous.
doing?
They
Yeah.
were mating, and you could hear the mating all the way across the other end of the zoo.
Oh, you're not the first person to say that.
Yeah, the females make this really loud noise.
Oh,
And it's like, and when if you didn't know it was them and you heard that noise on the other end, you'd think somebody was in pain.
interesting.
But those tortoises I had never seen such big I mean, they're humongous. You could actually ride one. They're so big. Not that I would. I'm just saying, if you had to compare it to, how big it was, a human could actually. There is something wrong with this one. I
Hi,
might have
Teresa
to.
Louise. How are you doing?
Hey, Teresa.
Laying here on the couch with a heating pad and watching.
Uh-oh, she's in pain today.
Well, I hope you feel better soon.
Yeah, me too. I could never be a teacher in today's society, as kids would not be allowed any technology and would have to read a physical book, says
Who said
Rita.
that? Rita, Rita, you could no, Rita, I need technology. We're gonna
See,
fight
I
with that.
wouldn't allow phones in my room. I would make them leave them in their lockers.
It all depends on the age group. It all depends on the age group. But no, I technology has its place. And as long as you don't abuse it. So
From
we're
my
still need to get
perspective, we didn't have
education.
phones. Why do they need phones?
Yeah. Well, it all depends on how old you are. If you're going home on your own and you're like 10 years old or higher, I would want my kid to have a phone. Um, my daughters my daughters have phones because they go to middle school, sports, and I want them to make sure that I want to know where they are. So I can just ding them whenever I need to.
I'm
But
glad Thomas doesn't have the money to give Blaze a phone. It's one more distraction Blaze doesn't need.
you can shut it off at certain times too. Like you can really, they have so much parent controls now that by 9:30 everything's shut down in our house. Like all the Wi-Fi to all the devices the kids have are all shut down. They can't get on.
I'm glad I didn't have to worry about that when my kids were growing up because we didn't have that. We had internet, but there wasn't all these phones and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't allow them on the internet much. I didn't feel like one time I got in a discussion with my oldest one. She says, "Why won't you let us on there? Everybody else's kids on." I said, "That's everybody else's kids." But mom, we should be able to. I said, "My job is to make sure that you're fed, you're clothed, you're loved, and you're educated. It is not, I do not have to give you internet just because you say so."
Mm-hmm. You thought she was maybe she was going to use it for entertainment purposes?
I think she wanted to go hang out on a channel with her friends, and by
Yeah.
doing that, I wouldn't have any control over what was going on in there.
Yeah.
And because there's back when internet first started, and I had every reason to have this feeling because there was lots of predators when it first started.
Oh yeah.
I know because when I was doing IRC, I would have predators hitting on me, and when you're a young kid, I'm pretty sure that some of those people that were in those chats were not 18 and older. And back then, kids didn't have the experience of knowing, well, I should not give my personal information out or blah 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 this or blah blah blah. And so I just wanted to keep mine safe from them.
Mhm.
And it sure didn't harm their growing up or anything.
Yes.
Uh, I think Lynette got her phone. She was the first one to get her phone, and when she got a phone, she was already 19, I think. You know how many years it took them to talk me into getting my own cell phone? Oh my Lord. I wouldn't get a cell phone.
What's the name of the guy on Tuber Chat? Because he just popped in.
Hey Kevin, welcome, welcome.
Yes.
I wouldn't get one because I didn't feel like I needed one because I had a house phone. Why did I need another phone? And I think the cell phone services had been out maybe 4 years before. In fact, I don't think I got one until after my first husband died. And then I finally did because Lynette's like, "Mom, you need to get a cell phone where we can call you if it's an emergency or something." And I think they were worried because after losing their dad the way
Yeah.
we did, I think that was why she was really harping on it. And then the other two ganged up on me too. So I guess they thought that, it was important at the time.
Mm-hmm. Well,
It's
hello.
not,
And then Petey Pablo has popped in.
"Hey Pete,
Pete's
nice
Pablo.
to see you." I think that Kevin, didn't you have a live tonight that I missed out on? Probably. Or was that last night you had the live?
That's right,
Hello,
Marlene.
Marlene. Welcome, welcome.
That's right.
It was last night he had the live because I mentioned about having our live tonight. I had to, and he had said something in the live yesterday about it,
Well,
about
welcome in.
yours and my live. He
I'm
told
Jess.
everybody about
This is Katie, and we're here to have fun. And
it.
so,
That's right. There are no old ladies here, says
that's right.
Marlene.
Oh, do you see any gray hair on this head? Nope. There's gray.
But you see
Let me
some
tell
on
you.
mine.
Let me tell you. I don't dye my hair or anything. It's there. But I don't think myself as old at all. Not yet.
So
Uh,
let's see. My birthday is in how many days? It's on the 26th. Who wants to get The ones that already know, don't give the answer.
Okay.
The rest of you, what age do you think I'm going to be on March the 26th? Let's see who can guess.
Oh,
Let's see how close you get. How old do you think I am? The ones that know, don't give the answer. Because I think there's 2 or 3 people that actually do know.
Teresa Louise said her first satellite phone and pager was in 1995.
That sounds about right for the satellite phones. Man, satellite phones were expensive. I don't know
Marlene,
how anybody afforded them.
we're experienced. That's right. That's right.
No
This,
one's going to guess my age. Yeah, it's funny.
Teresa Louise said
39.
39.
39 and holding, and
29
Marlene says
golden.
29 and holding.
Oh, yes.
Y'all can be honest. You're not going to offend me.
Let's see. Well, you have a child my age-ish.
My
So
oldest one's 38. So
30.
are you?
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm 43, so we're not
Yeah.
quite. So
Yeah, I wouldn't have been old enough to have you.
you would have been old enough to have me?
Well, maybe because
Maybe.
I didn't have Lynette until I had her a month before my 25th birthday. So I didn't have my kids at a young age. I was already near that quarter of a century mark when I had her. Oh, and I just gave away the answer, darn it. Teresa says 56.
I know. It's like, Katie.
Hey, I just said too much.
Oh,
Now people are going to do the math and figure it out.
yes. Well, I was thinking, I'm like, okay, how old is my mom? And you're younger than my mom.
Denise says 81. Oh, wait,
Denise.
Diana Ross will be 81 on my birthday.
Oh,
Yep, she will.
Donna Ross, yes. I can't believe she's going to be 81 years old.
Sherry says 762. Not that you look it.
So
Thanks, Sherry.
Sherry said 62 with question marks. Those are question marks.
Oh, that was a question mark.
Yeah. And then Melissa says 25 is young to have children. Lori says
Yeah, but
3.
a lot of people tend to have babies as soon as they're 18. No.
Some, yeah.
I mean, if you wanted to go by that, my daughter didn't have Ava until she was 32, and Ava is now 4. So she waited a long time. Well, I think they just weren't trying to have children, and at some point she didn't think she could because she wasn't getting pregnant. She wasn't on birth control, and then suddenly right before the lockdown, she waited till she was through her first trimester to tell anyone she was pregnant. And then she messaged me and she says, "Mom, I have something to tell you." I'm like, "Okay, I'm going to have a baby." And I'm like, "Wait, what? You and Eric and you know what had happened was when they went to get Blaze from his biological mother, because the DCF asked them if they didn't come and get him, they were going to put him in foster care. They had Blaze for a month before they took him to California to hand him over to Thomas, and they fell in love with him. And when he came back home, the house was just it was missing something. And so Eric's like, "We need to have a baby."
We need to have a baby. I was
So
27.
they really started trying.
Yeah. And then I was 30 when I had my youngest. So.
Oh, wow. I was 28 when 28 when I had Kristen. So Kristen and Thomas are about 13 months apart. And the reason they're so close together is I had Thomas, and about, I think, 10 weeks later, I had a tubal done because I was not going to have it. I didn't want to have any more kids because of my bad marriage and stuff. And I just didn't feel like exposing it just, at the time, I just didn't want to. And the doctor who did the tubal, he was informing me that I didn't know my mind and blah blah blah, and I'm too young to make that kind of decision. And I said, "Listen, dude, I'm 28 years old. I know what I want. I do not want any more kids.
Yeah.
Please get us set up for the surgery. So we did.
I wish I never had mine.
Pregnant a few months. Guess who came up pregnant a few weeks later? Me.
Yeah.
So when I had Kristen and I told the doctor then, I said, would you please make sure I don't have any more kids? I don't care what you do, but please do something.
Take it out.
And he says, I tell you what, when I get in there, if I find that if there's too much tube in there or whatever, I'll remove the whole entire tube on both sides. He comes back the next morning and he says, you know why you had a baby? No. Well, obviously, because something didn't work. He says, the doctor that tied my tubes the first time, he tied a tendon behind my left tube.
So
instead of tying the tube, he tied a tendon. That was why I got pregnant. And he told me, he says, I cut 2 centimeters off both ends of your tubes and I burned them. There's no way in hell, short of a miracle, can you get pregnant. I'm like, thank you.
I probably would have had like 4 more kids. I would have been like a very busy mama.
I used to want to have multiple kids when I was younger, but because, you don't know you're broken until you realize you are. And, because of my history and stuff. And I realized that I wasn't equipped enough to be raising more than what I already had, I don't think I did a terrible job with any of them because none of the kids got in trouble. They seemed well rounded for the most part. And
right.
I don't think that I did a bad job, but I think I could have did better, put it that way.
Right. So how old will you be since everyone has stopped guessing?
I'll be 63.
63. So Lori got it correct. And
yeah, she did. I just can't believe I have 3 more years to go to hit another milestone. I need to hit my mother. Okay, so and I'll explain. There's 2 milestones that I wanted to hit because you think about dying sometimes, and when your parents die at a young age, you realize you could have that same potential for that happening. So my father died when he was 56. So that was my first milestone I've had. My mother passed away 10 years later at 66. She died of that is a very long name for this particular brain cancer. And so she was 66. And if I could bypass 66, then I'm not going to sit and worry about stuff anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I want to live long enough to see my grandkids have kids.
Yeah.
And I might not live long enough to see Ava have kids, but maybe Abby, because Abby's 13 now.
Yeah. Well, just keep eating healthy and exercising and drinking lots of water and doing what's right for you and not be stressed. You'll be fine.
Yep, because the only health problem I actually have is my asthma and my reduction of lung capacity due to my asthma.
Okay.
And the thing with my back, but outside of that, I don't have high blood pressure. They test me every year to make sure there's the blood work, and all the blood work always comes back fine,
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have any of that kind of problem. My dad, he could have lived longer if he'd have listened to the doctor. He had heart disease, and that was prevalent in the Oglesby side of the family. And he had several bypasses, but he continued to eat all the wrong things. And he would sneak off when Mama was working and go. One time I walked into a barbecue restaurant. Guess who was sitting there eating? He was. And the barbecue wasn't the problem. It was all the other stuff. He was eating a bunch of fried food. And I'm like,
yeah,
you're eating all this fried stuff and the doctor told you not to.
In moderation. Maybe that's what he was thinking in his head. But I can understand. So Terry, what are you doing tonight?
There's one.
Are you sewing along with us?
Hey, Terry. Oh, I almost knocked that over. Oh, I forgot to put a weight on it. That's why it moved. Do y'all hear her?
No, I don't hear her at all. Ooh, the
It's gonna be
sun
loud
is,
in a minute.
I think somebody just turned on the air conditioning in my house. I don't know. I just got a cold chill. I'm gonna have to go put on a jacket or a sweatshirt. It was really warm outside
Temperature outside
today.
your way.
Hmm.
What's your temperature outside?
Well, it was 67 today. Um, now it's, oh, it went down a little bit. It's 63. But there's a vent right here to my right.
Uh-huh.
It, it kicked on and it's just a bunch of cold air coming out of it. I'm hoping somebody didn't turn on the air conditioning. That would have been just a ruining my life kind of moment.
Because you don't want to be cold or because it's gonna run the electric bill up.
I see Terry says she just sat down and she's quilting her new quilt pattern. Yay. Cooking up a storm and now crashing a bit. Amazing. Amazing. I do need to email you. I do need to email you,
Terry
Terry.
wrote a new
I said this
pattern.
yesterday to you. I got to do it today. Between Katie's and Williams live. I can do this. I can get my life straight for a moment. I just have one question. One question. Melissa said it's 77 degrees down there in Georgia. Amazing. Mm,
So in case y'all didn't know this, if you
yeah.
type exclamation weather and then a space and
Yeah.
put your city and state, the bot will tell you what your weather is.
Oh, I don't want people to know where I live. I almost did it. I was like, oh no, no.
Yeah, but you can do like Raleigh, North Carolina. That's what you can
I
say.
could do Raleigh. I could do Raleigh because everyone knows I'm near Raleigh.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll do that.
do
We'll
Raleigh.
try it. You said it was weather
Exclamation
days.
weather,
Yeah,
and
Raleigh.
then Raleigh, North Carolina. That's what you put in there. You got to put the state in there, or it won't know what to do.
Um, okay, we'll try it. North Carolina. Mm, oh, okay. Maybe I need to put a space between
Yeah, there's
North
got to be a space in there between
Raleigh
the
and North
weather
Carolina.
and Raleigh, and the space between Raleigh and North Carolina.
Got it. Hmm. Right now in North Carolina, the conditions are sunny and the temperature is 67 degrees with wind blowing from the northwest at 13 miles an hour. It is currently, the humidity is 29%.
Oh, very low humidity, and I found a mistake. I saved this on the wrong side.
Aw. But I think, so going back to the children thing, I really think that's another reason why I'm a teacher, just so I can be around babies all day long. And babies, not babies, but like my little 10-year-olds, they are amazing, absolutely wonderful. I really enjoy hanging out with them. And I get to send them home at the end of the day. So I have 43 kids and then off they go and I don't have to bring them home with me. So
I've been talking to one of my friends who's a teacher here in the town.
yeah,
I told her, I said, maybe starting next year I could come into your class and help tutor reading English. Because she
absolutely you
how to
can.
teach English. And she says, that's a great idea, Katie. Come in, just to help my students. And all they got to do is just read to me. I don't, because I would enjoy the camaraderie of doing that.
Mhm. Well, Shalom, you are experiencing light rain right now at a cool 48 degrees with wind blowing from the southeast. Ooh, at 3 miles an hour. Do you want some heat your way? Because we can bring it from the south, we can bring it from the east. We can give you some.
So look here, I have sewn 3 of them on the wrong side.
I did that with a couple of them at the beginning. Hi, Mona. How are you
But
doing?
it's
Welcome
fixable.
in.
Hello, Mona.
Yeah.
Welcome, welcome. So
Terry said that
I'll
she
show
never,
you what it is I'll put my count in here.
yeah. Terry said that
Cut
she
it.
never thought she wanted kids, nor that she would work with them, and God had a better plan. Exactly. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Denise asks, are the kids on Chromebooks? Yes, they are. So we have Chromebooks and we have a lot of, and I have Go Guardian on my computer so that when we're working on things, I can see everything that they do. And with my team teacher being out of school on Friday, I had both classes set up and I just project it on the screen and they can tell on each other. So they know. They know. I have an evil to my madness.
See, my humidity is 61%,
Yeah.
but it's raining here too. That's
Mm,
why it's so warm. So the snow is going to melt fast because of that wind.
yes, I do love some
Great.
baby shalom.
That
I
means there's
probably the parents would probably give them to me. There's a joke at my school or when in my classroom that I'm going to adopt all the boys since I've only had girls. And some of them call me mom now. And I was like, oop, don't say that too much because we don't need to get used to it. But oh, they are such great kids. I wish you guys could all meet them. Maybe someday I'll take a video. I'll have to get like parent permission and just do something where it's not live or anything like that, and I can just take it right down. But yeah. Did you have a good live, Mona, today? I saw that you and Lisa and Deb were on. So it looked like you guys were having a lot of fun over there. Um, yeah, everyone's doing weather. Hmm.
seem to be using this seam ripper a lot today.
Yeah. Yeah, Jack sometimes gets used a lot. And then some days you barely even see him. So
Yeah. Can you hear her now? She reminds me of a young kid when she, like if I make noise, you'll listen to me.
yeah.
And we all know what she wants.
Yes.
Really? Yeah.
Oh, I can't hear her at all. It must be like the noise suppression that you have set up.
Oh,
Oh,
so no one's hearing her this time? But she's being pretty loud.
oh, there she is. I just heard that little whimper. Yes. Mona said that she left early because her eyes are burning and they need to be, yeah, go lay down and rest. Put some really nice medicated eye drops in if you have those. Um, I showed Shalom a picture of my students. And Shalom, I have two kids with mullets. I didn't realize which one you saw, but both of them are amazing. You would love both of those boys. So, um,
Or Melissa says she doesn't hear her. That's interesting. I had reset my Zoom a little bit because sometimes
oh, I hear her. I hear that little puppy.
she's missing her daddy.
Oh, yeah, Mona. Shalom and I were talking about you earlier. Just how wonderful. Yeah, how wonderful you are. Nothing bad, I promise. Um, how we both found your channel and then how like Shalom and I were talking about how we found each other. And well, did you find Mona first? I can't remember that. And that you found William and then I was on William's channel and you watched us and yeah, it was fun. Fun. But yeah, we, yeah, Shalom and I will talk about all the content creators and just how enjoyable they are. And yeah, it's good. All right, so I have one, two, three, four. I have 5 blocks done now.
All
So I just
right.
did 3 whole blocks while we've been sitting here for the last hour and a half.
Have you decided on how many blocks across you're going to go?
I'm thinking I'm going big or go home.
Yeah, because right now you saw what mine looks like. Are you going to go
Yeah.
bigger than that one?
I'm thinking, so at the beginning, I was like, I'm just gonna do a baby size, just in and out like a storm. Yeah,
It's turning out to be a fun quilt to learn how to make.
yes, it is. And it's just it's mindless sewing to me once you get um the corner squares, like what you're doing, you were clipping the corner squares. Once you
Yep,
have that finished, um, it's pretty much mindless sewing. And so it's a good
yep,
palette cleanser. That's what I call it.
yep. Because sometimes
Um,
with sewing is just fun.
it is, absolutely it is. What you can put on the
Like,
TV, you don't have to really worry about it as much.
yep.
I'll probably end up doing the lap size, a 48 by 64.
Yeah, I should measure that and see how wide that is right now, come to think of. Hang on
Yeah.
a minute, see how
I'm gonna
wide
go
it
put
is.
this on my design board. Oh, well, I'll wait until you come back. But
Okay, let me see how wide it is currently.
yeah, yeah, take your time. Yeah. Shalom says she doesn't have any boys either, so
48.
she'll take one. So Shalom, I have more boys than girls in this grade level this year. Um, so we can definitely share some boys. Yes, we can.
48 plus 16 is
64.
so it's 64 right now. Yep.
Yeah.
So that's how wide it is. So that's flat size.
Yeah, you're doing well, that's a twin size. If you do,
Yeah. What I
um,
did is I added the half square on both ends of it,
yeah.
and that's what made it look even bigger. Instead of the whole block, I did like half a block. And then I was thinking about, I don't know if you've given any thought to this, but you know how we have where these
Night, Mona.
the dark color runs out to the edge. I'm
Hey,
thinking
Lisa.
about when I want to put like a border around it, but everywhere that black comes out, continue it so it can stop.
Mhm.
Does that make sense what I just said?
Yeah, no, it does.
Mona's leaving.
Yeah, Mona's leaving and Lisa just got here.
Hi, Lisa, and have a good night, Mona. Why are you giving me a hard time coming out? Okay, you were gonna, yeah, go to your design board. Yeah.
I'm just gonna pop it up here. I gotta figure out. Huh. I need to. Do you have to offset it a little bit? Let's see here. I got a song stuck in my head. Gotta get it out. Gotta get it out. Oh, it's because I'm not doing it the way that the pattern said. Let's see here.
Oh, did you change the way you were doing it?
No, no. Okay. All right. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. We're good. No, I was looking at something and I was gonna change something up a little bit, but we're not gonna do that. Because I always like to have my own little twist on everything.
Yeah. Shalom says, Katie, I love your hair so much like that. Thank you. It's been in pigtails for the last 3 days, I guess. I
Yeah.
wash my hair twice a week and then I braid it.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned that washing my hair less seems to be the thing to do.
Yes. Yeah. I wash.
I have less problems with
Yeah.
it's less dry problems, and I don't have split ends, and you know, and y'all probably no one. I'm surprised no one noticed that I cut half my hair off. Not one person has said anything about it. I had
Well,
Nicholas cut half my hair off. Remember, it was
oh,
down to my butt.
you always have it back though, Katie.
Yeah, I
For me,
always have it in a braid.
braid.
And
So
but yeah, when he came home this time, I asked him to cut half of it off since we
yeah.
can't get to since there's no hairdresser to go to.
Yeah, I cut my own hair. So I
And my
understand.
bangs I do myself. That's why they look the way they do all the time. Because I just
I figured if anybody's gonna like butcher my hair, it's gonna be
you're
me.
gonna do it.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna do it. And then I'll have my mother-in-law fix it because she's actually a beautician and she used to cut my hair until she started having back problems and then I learned how to do it myself. but I really want layers in my hair, but I
I
can
do
make
too. I want
I
one of
can,
the what they call a long shag where you got multiple layers going all the way down, but keep some of the length.
yeah.
But Nikolai doesn't know how to do that. But he did a good job doing a straight cut. I mean, I couldn't complain. And this is the second time I've had him cut my hair. But it was getting so long, and I kept, when your hair gets a certain length, or with me anyway, you start finding hair everywhere. He had to clean out the trap in the shower, and when he showed it to me, I'm like, oh my god, a
Yeah.
bunch
Yeah.
of long strands of my hair were stuck in the trap.
Oh, oh, I have that. Mm, nope. Nope.
Yeah, and he
Not
cleaned
me.
it because he knows I don't have the stomach to clean it because
Nope.
it's gross when you look at it. All right, I'll feed you in just a minute. Jess, will you? I'll be right back.
Yeah,
I'm going to
absolutely.
give Mutsky food
Let's see
before
what.
she starts raising the roof.
Oh, Sheila, you were getting pizza? What kind of pizza were you getting? Hmm. Oh, I'm getting hungry now, guys. Oh my word. I made a lot of food today. So we'll see what I have for dinner. But I can smell somebody made the spaghetti that I or heated up the spaghetti that I made earlier because I can smell like the garlic bread that they made. Oh no. People are blowing me up wherever I am. Um, but yeah, that's true, Terry. We never saw how long with a braid. If she braided it, then we would have probably noticed it then. My hair is like that too. I wash it less often and brush it with a real bristle brush. Cool. I use a comb when I brush my hair because I figured when I use a brush, it just feels like it just goes like out, and I look like I have a lion's mane instead of straighter hair. Um, my daughter has her license, and I still get my hair cut on my own. Yeah, you cut your hair on your own. That's cool, Terry. My hubby cuts the back of my hair, and I add layers, Lisa. I bet. Wow, that's amazing. Look at us, quilters. We don't trust our hair with anyone. Um, and when she does it, she ends up shorter than what I asked for. It always does, doesn't it? It always ends up shorter. Yep, it's super easy to do yourself. And there's a trick. And I have lots of mirrors that I kind of like set up in my bathroom. And so I can see what I'm doing. Because I'm always afraid that I'm gonna like either cut it and it goes to a point or it's off, but I figured it out. I cut my kids' hair too. Um, Rita, I think I'm making something with sauteed mushrooms. Ooh, I have some
Sounds
mushrooms.
yummy.
That sounds delicious.
Sure does.
Okay. Ooh, we're going back to the drain thing. Shalom, I'm skipping that. Skipping that. Everyone else can read the comment. Like, yeah, I'll gag. Yeah, that's great. Love you though. Love you. Rita says she has to use an iron to straighten her hair. She hates curly hair. I wish I had curlier hair.
I wish I could get a perm in mine because I get them to kink it as tight as possible.
Yeah, I just want like the ring underneath when I don't blow dry it straight or I get ringlets. And the whole top is just straight as can be. And then I get ringlets all underneath here because my dad has curly hair and my mom's like stick straight. So I got the best of both worlds.
See,
So
I have baby fine hair. I mean, it's super soft,
mhm,
but it's super straight.
yeah.
I mean, this is because of a braid.
Hmm.
So if I want curly hair, I have to do a perm, and because my hair, it you may think, well, baby fine, it would hold curls for a long time. It doesn't, because when it's wet, it gets heavy. It
Hmm.
like soaks all the moisture up, and it'll pull a perm curl out. So whenever I get perms, I have to use a comb when it's wet.
Hi,
A,
Deb.
a,
How you doing?
to
Welcome
comb.
in. Hmm.
Deb,
Yeah, I only use combs to brush out my hair. I don't use brushes anymore. Mm. But my daughter has stick straight hair, and then my other daughter has hair just like me. Has a little
I
bit
bet
of
your daughter with the stick straight hair is complains a lot about it being straight.
yes, and she has really thin hair too.
Yeah,
So,
see.
and then my other daughter has so much hair. I was like, "Can you donate some, please? Just go donate." Oh,
Fortunately for me, all three of my kids inherited their dad's hair. Kristen has more hair, I guess, than all of them put together. So she started having the hairdressers. They pull her hair up part of it and they shave underneath
okay.
because she has her braid will be like this thick when you braid it.
Oh, wow.
Lynette and Thomas got thick hair, but not like her. But Lynn has very um curly. It's not curly, but it's got body with curls. So
Mhm.
she's had that since she was a baby. And Thomas has the thick straight hair. So they two of them get the straight hair from me, but all of them get the thick hair from their dad.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Lisa has coarse Asian hair and does not keep a perm at all. I've had a perm once. I wonder if there's a there's probably a picture out there somewhere. But
That might be why my kids have the thick hair because it's Japanese hair thickness. Um, because his mother had thick hair.
and then Rita says, oh, sorry, oops, let me not skip too much. Um, so Terry says that my girls have curly curls, and
I
both of them are
wanted them to
different
have curly
textures.
hair.
Yeah, that's cute. I bet it's different. It's like a love-hate relationship probably with curly hair too, just like with straight hair. Um, and then Rita said my hair is fixing to be frosted and then striped with colors. Beautiful.
Well, I
I
want
can't wait
purple
to see
hair.
it on your when you go live with it, Rita.
Yep, it'll be
Absolutely.
cool.
Rita had the most amazing live the other day. I came home from school, I'm making dinner, and there she was. And I was the most energetic person that I had around me all day, hands down, was Rita. It was wonderful. I loved it. I can't wait for her to go live again. And when I could be at, because I would love to continue talking to her. Um, Rita also says, I hate to think that curly hair is a major pain in the behind. Oh,
Feeling I'm
Terry
going to
says
be
she
using
never
that.
needed a perm. She needed an anti-perm, a straightener. Oh, good times. Oh, it's all about, yeah. Let's see. Terry used chemicals to straighten her hair when she was a teen, and so did Rita. Um, Lisa says, okay, she has to go and feed her hubby. Oh, yes, go feed him. We need him to survive.
I wasn't allowed to cut my hair when I was a teenager.
Really?
Yep, we belong to a church where women don't cut their hair,
Mm,
so that wasn't allowed. Which meant it kept my mother's hands off my hair because she would wait till this is before we joined or they joined the church.
uh-huh.
Um, she would wait till our hair was down to our butts and then go get short shags. And I always looked like a boy when it because my hair was so straight. It just was the most unbecoming haircut for someone like me who had thin, baby fine hair.
So she did it just to do it, or just because she didn't want to deal with hair?
She didn't want to deal with hair.
Yeah.
She wasn't doing it to be mean. Although she could have, not cut our hair so radical.
They threatened to cut my kids' hair when they wouldn't brush it because I wasn't going to brush it every single day. I was like, no, you need to be responsible for your own head and learn how to take care of your own hair.
Now with my girls, I kept their hairs and they had long hair and I rarely ever would take them and get it cut. But I also kept their hair in a braid.
Yeah.
And they used to complain a lot, Mom, you're hurting me. Why you gotta be so rough? I'm not being rough, just making sure it's tight. And
Yeah.
now as an adult, they're like, Mom, how we used to complain about you hurting us. We kind of appreciate the fact that you kept our hair, because both of them have neither one of them have short hair.
Hmm.
Kristen had to have short hair for a while when she was in the Navy because it's a dress code thing. But after she got out of the Navy, she went back to having long hair again. I gotta make sure I cut this in the right way or sew it in the right way. Okay, so I need to pin these on this side. I have also put the hair tinsel in it. I want to put purple in my hair. I want to be naughty and color my hair that color. Because I've never really done weird things to my hair.
Yeah. I put I would dye it. Okay. I put really like a lot of highlights in my hair, and then I
Mm-hmm.
would undercut it with it was like a chocolate brown color. So I'd put high and low lights in my hair, and that was really pretty. And I did that a lot in college. So,
I tried to go blonde one time. Oh, let me tell you, when you already have red, you can't see red in my hair, but there's actually an undertone in it
oh,
of it.
I have red in my hair too.
And when you try to go blonde, and if you don't use the right kind of going blonde stuff, it turns a
Yeah.
strawberry red.
Yeah, because
And
you
I
have to
never
use
went,
a purple toner too, also
yeah, I
helping.
never did that again because it was just horrible. I
Mm.
actually have a picture of me with the kids with my hair that color. I'll have to dig it out and show it to you on my next live. You'll laugh when you see it. It's very strawberry blonde.
My kiddos always wanted red hair, green hair, or something.
Green
So I
hair
would
sounds
just buy them
fun
the
too.
chalk, or we get the hairspray and go, all right, you can color your, and they thought that that was coloring their hair. So
Washes out.
it does. It does, and they never say anything about it. So mom for the win.
Yep.
Yeah.
I put purple, a blue, and neon green and red. One time I wanted my hair is normally, you see the natural hair color is that dark color. That's natural hair color right there. And one time I wanted to go dark brown, make it even darker. You know what
Yeah.
it did? It turned it so dark it looked blue.
What?
Yeah, it was like this deep when you get out in the light, it looked like I had colored my hair navy blue.
Wow. I never even thought of that.
So probably the hair dye I used was the wrong hue for my kind of hair color or for my hair tone. I'm like, wow, wee man. I was pregnant with my daughter when I did it.
That's fun.
It was because my first husband has the same hair color as my youngest daughter and my son does. It's not black, but it's not brown either. It's like it's caught in between the two colors, so it's extremely dark, but it's not so dark that it looks like jet black.
Yeah.
And that's what I was trying to do is get my hair to the same color.
Mhm.
And yeah, it did all right. Lynette seems to have more of my hair color, but none of them have my eye color. Um, Two of them have brown eyes, and Lynette has hazel eyes. But
Um,
my grandkids all have blue eyes, except just I can't remember if Blaze has blue eyes or brown eyes.
I have blue eyes, and they sometimes they look gray
Mm-hmm.
instead of blue. And that's the only thing I said. I'm gonna have babies. but they better have blue eyes. That's all I kept saying. I was like, they can have freckles, they can have blonde hair, red hair, green eye, whatever, you know. And now they both have blue eyes, and they don't have my blue eyes
Yeah.
or my dad's. Like, I'm trying to figure out if there's like the mixture in the family. Um, but I do know that my youngest has my husband's grandma's eyes, just the way how blue they are. They're just gorgeous. So I love blue eyes. I love all color eyes, but I like blue.
Me too. I love when we have some Greenlanders here that one in particular, his name is Kim,
Yeah.
and his eyes are the bluest I have, and you don't usually see blue eyes in Greenlanders. So his mother must have been probably a Dane or something, but
Hmm.
his eyes are so brilliant, and because he's got that Inuit body structure and facial look and everything, it's
Yeah.
so beautiful. I just want to stand there and stare at him forever because it's just, and I love running across people who are of mixed race that have those blue eyes. They're so beautiful.
Yeah. Terry's mom had hazelnut eyes, or hazelnut, had hazel eyes, and they changed color. My mom has hazel eyes too, or like green. No, my brother has hazel eyes. My mom has green eyes.
Orange brown eyes. Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Look like cat eyes.
Hmm.
Or, yeah,
And Rita has hazel eyes, but they change depending on her mood. Ooh, girl.
yeah.
Now I know. Now I know the secret.
Yeah, sometimes it's about your mood.
Yeah.
Excuse me, y'all. Sorry.
I just noticed if I wear blues and certain different colors on my eyes, they look more blue than others, than other days. So, nice.
Let's see what
How are
this,
you doing cutting everything? Are you still cutting?
me?
Yeah. Are you
I'm
still
pinning.
pinning?
Yeah, so I can sew this angle on the other. I've already got all the color ones done.
Uh-huh.
As far as the corners on the flip and sew are
Yeah.
done. So now I'm doing the flip and sew for this part of it. So all I got to do is just pin them and then mark them so I can put the line on them. I don't know what's going on, but maybe I need a drink.
Mm-hmm.
I slept with the window open last night, and I bet that has a whole lot to do with it. My friend's parents had brown eyes, and both kids don't. She has green, and her brother has blue. That's probably somewhere in their DNA.
Oh yeah. It was hidden in there somewhere.
It's interesting because when you have children and you go to the, like I would go to the store with my kids, and Lynette, when she was really little, she looked Asian. And people would walk up, oh, what beautiful babies you're babysitting. And I'm like, really? So you just make that assumption they're not mine? I'm like, I hate to tell you this, but these are my children. They are, because, it would be hilarious.
Yeah. Those recessive genes, as Melissa said. Yeah. Sometimes they win over those dominant genes.
Yes, they do. I halfway figured that the brown eyes would continue on because of Chris and Thomas, but turns out that because the father of like my daughter's kids, both of them have blue eyes, so both those girls got the blue eyes back because blue eyes is extremely dominant on both sides of my family. So when two of them were born with brown eyes, it really surprised me. I figured that my DNA would override his, but it didn't.
No, because blue eyes is a recessive gene. So we get beat out unless he has blue eyes on his side. It was they'll carry it, but they won't show it.
Yeah, his dad had hazel eyes, and I really don't know if hazel was a, and that was probably why Lynette had hazel eyes instead of brown.
Yeah.
Um, but the other two, the two younger ones, you would have thought when they were younger babies, even they, a lot of people thought they were twins
Mhm.
because they looked so close to each other. But being 13 months apart, you really couldn't tell that they were that far apart.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times they would say, "Are those twins?" No. I said, "They're 13 months apart. They're just really born close together."
Thinking
But
about
me and my
okay.
sister,
Mhm.
Cheryl, right now she's 62. She's the same age as I am right now. We stay the same age a month, 2 weeks, and 3 days because me and her are less than 9 months apart.
Yeah. Irish twins.
And it's because she had Cheryl about 7 or 8 weeks early
Mhm.
because her and dad had been out to sea, and when they came home they got carried away and made my mother go into labor.
Mhm.
So we were both born at the Navy base in Charleston. She looks a lot like my dad.
I don't know who I look like. I mean, I'm a really good mix between both of them.
She has my dad's lips. My dad has those. He played a trombone because he had those kind of lips that could play trombones, and
Mhm.
Cheryl has those lips. And I've noticed that um, Aria, the youngest of my youngest daughter, she has those same lips. So they must have been passed over from that side of the family.
Yeah.
Those kissable lips.
Mhm.
Every single thing on me is recessive. Ha ha. My earlobes, my straight hairline, my blue eyes, my straight thumb.
Aw.
I don't know what that means about straight thumb. What? I have fed your behind. Oh, go to sleep.
Yeah, I'm just
You
gonna call Shalom my recessive friend. Oh.
being awful demanding tonight.
Oh, it's because I'm here. Oh.
She always sounds like she's just so unloved or so not paid attention to, put it that way.
Yeah. Yes.
And I've been letting her sleep with me in the bed because she's missing him so much.
Spoiled girl.
And that's going to be a habit if I keep on letting it happen.
Mhm.
Normally, I make her sleep out in the hallway. But I told Nikolai I was going to do some rearranging in our bedroom and see if I could create her own little sleeping quarters inside the bedroom itself. Now that the big dog's gone, because I didn't let him sleep in our room. Too big of a dog for me to fall over,
Mhm.
because he would lay right where you walk, or he would lay in front of the door, and he wouldn't move when you got to the door. He would just do like this
Like you
and
want
then
to
go
go
back
back.
to sleeping.
Yes. Rena said that she's missing her daddy.
She is missing him.
Mhm. And Terry says that Seb sleeps with her ever since she lost her last girl. Mm.
I really wanted to get another puppy, and it just hasn't been able to happen.
Yeah, not yet. Just not yet.
Yeah, maybe it was meant for us to wait. I don't know. And I could have sworn I heard a puppy this morning outside, so somebody must have got them a new puppy. But I don't know who it was because I didn't get up to go look. I'm like, no, I'll stay in bed. Because I knew if I got up, she'd get up. Really, Nora? Did you decide whether you're going to add more blocks to the top row?
I have 3 blocks right now. I will add one more. I need a bigger design wall. I do. I have the
Yeah,
Fonz and Porter
you and
design wall.
me both. If I would just get back in my sewing room, I would have a big enough wall.
Yeah. I just need to add like another like a foot and a half onto it. So
I've been going in and out of there the last few days or 2 or 3 days, and when I walk in there, I know what I want to do, but getting the motivation to do it is just not there.
So is it ready for you to move into?
No.
Okay. So you need to clean it more or just
Yeah, I need to finish that. I've gotten quite a bit of the glass up, but then I moved something yesterday, and guess what? More glass.
yeah.
It's like I pulled off the top shelf where this crochet box was at. I have a few boxes sitting on top of that small shelf, and when I pulled that away, I found more glass even there. And that wasn't even in the line of fire. It was off to the side behind the door. So I know that that means that all those notebooks, I have notebooks on a shelf in there that are crochet notebooks and quilting notebooks where I printed something.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you there's glass inside those notebooks because I didn't have a plastic covering over that part of the shelf. Why does this look like it? Uh-oh, we got one going the wrong way. Darn it, no. Oh, maybe I'm just getting teased by it because I have it laying weird. Okay, yeah, I'm fine. I thought I made one wrong. So Terry, you have a visitor. What does that mean?
All right, let's see what else. Well, they were talking above that, so probably there's like context up there. He became a dog. When he became the only dog, he never slept with me, and that became a real problem. Rita says her design wall is no comment. Pete said you can use my walls. Carrie said the House of Creation sleeps on his bed, but his quilt on his side, but close enough to keep him warm. And then Sheila says my design wall is the floor. Rita said, I have a very large design wall, but it is in my bedroom right next to my craft room. And that would mean I would have to walk back and forth or move the craft room to the bedroom. And then Terry
Right
said,
there.
"Oh, visitor."
Oh, Rita is like, where's Orca? Right here.
Yes.
But now Orca has 2 dogs sitting on top of him.
Oh, how sweet. Yes.
Nikolai found another little dog, or one of the kits he was working on had a small one. And I'm like, can I have it? And I put it on top of the Orca. We're being silly about this Orca. But I have an idea, you guys, and
Okay.
it was because while I was in Tuber Chat, there's a YouTube creator in there. His name's called Little Lego, and I told him that Nikolai bought. For those that some of you heard about it because I had mentioned it last night, but not Nikolai bought me the Love Lego kit, and when he comes home, I'll have to do it. But Little Lego says, why don't you two do a live and you two build the Love Lego together? It's a great idea. So I mentioned it to Nikolai. He's like, yeah, let's do it. So when he comes home, we're going to do a live where we're both building that love Lego together.
Oh, how sweet.
It'll be a lot of fun because that Lego kit is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going in the craft room when I get it put together, because right where you all see it on live, along with my Greenland Quilter sign. Did you see my sign?
No.
You haven't seen it?
No.
It came in.
Oh, that is special. I love that.
And it's made of metal, so it'll last a long time.
You definitely will.
Yep. So
Yes.
I just got to figure out how I want to mount it.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking maybe I could go to the store or something and buy maybe a really thin piece of wood and make a mount and mount it onto that. And then I could hang it from the ceiling or something.
Yep. I could see that definitely.
Yeah. Because I'm not sure I mean, I could mount it to the wall, but then it would be in an inconspicuous spot where no one sees it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it came in, I don't know, a few weeks ago. It says
Oh,
Greenland Quilter. Oh, I'll put it up closer so you can read it.
it says Greenland Quilter established in 2011.
It's not backwards in the camera, is it?
No.
Okay. And for those of you who are going to say, did you start your channel in 2011? No. This 2011 is in honor of me and Nikolai getting married in 2011.
Oh. Yes.
My channel was started about 19 months ago. So in July, I'll hit my second anniversary with the channel. But I got that sign made through Soft Squares. Her husband, Marlon, is friends with someone who makes those kind of logos. And I got a pretty good deal on it, so it wasn't too terribly expensive, especially considering it's made from metal.
Mm-hmm.
It was $25 for it, and I didn't think that was bad.
That's not a
I
bad
thought
price.
it was going to cost more, and it didn't,
Exactly.
because usually stuff like that, especially stuff like that's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Outing. She's sitting with her back to me. When dogs sit away from you with their back to you, they're pouting. And she's still whimpering.
Yes. Oh.
And then she turns to look to see if I'm paying attention. So I made that one wrong. Oops. Oh, you scooped me up, little one. And now that the snow is melting, she's going to be totally, every time she goes outside, she's going to be totally sidetracked because she can smell Mother Earth because the snow is melting away. And that nose goes into overdrive because Dachshunds use their nose a lot, just like your hound dog does.
My hound dog. Yes. Yes.
Like, instead of going to the toilet, let's go sniff everything down.
Yes. Oh, she has to sniff everybody and everything when
Yep.
she's there.
Have you ever seen her sniff the air and then go follow that smell?
Yes. Yeah.
Because that's what this one does.
She
Like,
can only go
she's
so far.
about to take off.
Yeah. And she'll go right to the fence and just keep smelling. She smells, it's the deer mostly that she smells, I
Yeah.
think. But
Or rabbits.
could be rabbits too.
Someone posted a picture, a Nikolai's cousin, in fact, posted a picture yesterday. And you could see their porch was bumped up against where the snowdrift was coming down the side of the mountain because they live really close to the part of a mountain. And you had to look, and he put a circle around what it was he was showing. And I'm like, hey, that's an Arctic rabbit. That's the first time I've even, because usually you don't even see them anywhere near here. I've never seen one in nature here, but if you go out, when I go off with my friends and we go out in the middle of nowhere, you'll see them out there.
Mhm.
I hope I didn't just,
Are they large?
yeah,
can't
pretty good
remember.
size.
Yeah.
They're not actually called rabbits, they call them Arctic hares.
Hi, Laura.
So
How are you doing?
I really don't know what the difference in that means, but what I find, um I don't know what term to use for this, but when they kill or when they dispatch, sorry, when they dispatch birds and hares,
Mhm.
you'll see them hanging on ropes outside their door,
Yeah.
and they haven't been the insides hasn't been cleaned out. They
Mhm.
just hang the whole rabbit up there like that, upside down. And I'm like, I asked Nicola, I said, won't the insides taint the meat? He says, nope. So, and I guess they've been doing that for hundreds of years.
Yeah. I mean, they're encased in there like a sack in a way, kind of,
Yeah,
in the stomach cavity. So I understand.
it's just an interesting way of doing it.
Mhm. Yeah, at one time I was
A lot
going to
of
raise
times, go ahead.
quail rabbits to eat at one time. And then
Hmm.
I was like, not yet. I need more land. I just need more thing. Yeah. More space for them.
Yeah,
We'll see someday, maybe.
our neighbor, when he goes cod fishing, he'll hang up his cod outside to dry out because a lot of Greenlanders will dry out some of the cod they catch so that
Yeah.
they can eat it during the winter months, just as a snack. And this last year, he had a bunch of them hanging out on the side of his house, and someone's loose dog who said they're stealing his fish off the side of his house.
Oh,
I'm like, I bet he's going to get spicy when he catches them.
yeah.
Hey, Laura. Terry says, poor rabbit.
Yes.
This is the circle of life here, Terry. Greenlanders have to eat. Probably May, when the snow starts melting, they'll be out on their boats, and the first thing they'll be hunting is seal
Hmm.
because they got to start supplying their food table for the next winter. We have our grocery stores have been lacking
Yeah.
in
Hi,
so many
Sherry.
ways.
Hi. Night.
Take care, Sherry. See you later. I'm looking forward to our next hand sewing lesson.
Hmm. Yeah, I enjoyed watching you all the other night. Well, I was lurking, but I was listening to it.
It was fun. I mean, I after the live ended, I took it to the bedroom with me, and I came back in here and swiped the light because I don't have enough light in there. And Nikolai's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm going to practice some more." And I sat there and I'm watching TV and I'm just going along with it. And I was like, I see what everybody's talking about. It was really enjoyable. It's our
Mhm.
little homework assignment that we needed to work on. So, I need to, the block that I'm going to use for when we actually start quilting, I need to make it a little bit bigger to go in that big ring because that ring is really big.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking I'll add two more, borders on it, and then maybe attach a piece of fabric or something, just like baste it on there temporary. And then that way I can get it in the ring properly. Will you stop? I'm
Terry
almost
says
done.
that she can't handle like how you just said that they wait until to go get seals and stuff like that. But I think this is where that comment comes from. It says she can't handle that. She knows that different lands do different things and they have different needs. So, um,
I guess because of the way I grew up with the hunter. He hunted all the time and he fished all the time. So I'm totally desensitized to that kind of thing. It doesn't bother me at all. Now if it was for trophy hunting, it would tick me off
and
because there is people who hunt deer for horns and that's all they want, and they kill the deer, take the horns, and leave the rest. And to me, that's wrong. If you're going to do it, you do it for food. I am allergic to any type of seafood. I remember you saying that, Rita. I'm glad I'm not, because I told Nikolai that if we got no ships, if uh, shipments stopped coming altogether to this country, I would probably starve to death because I'm not going to eat some of the stuff that Greenlanders eat. Steel is one of them. But because we have access to salmon and cod and shrimp, that I can do. And halibut and flounder. Now they do have some other fish that are too fishy for me, too strong tasting is what I mean.
yeah.
They have a wolf fish. My goodness, that one looks scary. They have like the gray skin like a catfish, but they have these black spots all over them. But inside their mouth are these really huge teeth. That's why they call it the wolf fish, spotted wolf fish. And then they have this redfish. It's a deep sea fish. So when they come up, the water pressure changes their bodies because they're not, used to being way down deep. And sometimes when I see them, I'm like, wow, that looks kind of creepy.
Yeah, I bet it would be creepy.
We've been going 2.5 hours. Let me do something real quick. Are you done with sewing, Jess?
Yeah, I'm hungry. So I was about to say, like, I'm gonna have to get off soon because I'm hungry. My stomach's been growling.
Right now, there's
Lots of
35
fight.
people. Okay, let's talk about the poll, and then I'll tell you what we're going to be doing next week,
Mhm.
and then we can get off of here.
You're a busy lady. You have a lot of things going on.
Well, I'm trying to stick to this plan of mine, and
Oh,
so far, other than canceling Thursday's live, which was not part of the plan, I was supposed to do it, but I stayed off because my attitude would have been showing big time.
mhm.
I was missing Nikolai, and I was upset over something that has to do with Greenland, and I just could not drag myself online because some people are not going to want to listen to it, or they have no understanding of how it's making us feel over here. So all right, let's do the poll first. The question was, which needle has big eyes and sharp points? 64% said tapestry needle, 11% said quilting needle, and 29% said the chenille, and I hope I'm saying that right, needle. Now, according to the website where I got this from, it states, because I'm going to read it to you what it says. Hold on a minute while I get it, because I couldn't type all that into the chat. It limits what you say. Uh-oh, where'd it go? When my browser gives me trouble. Sorry, guys. Hang on a minute. Kind of lost the page, looks like. Okay, hang on 1 minute.
Oh, Rita's really resourceful. She taught her kids to hunt. That's amazing. While you're looking that up, Terry loves salmon. She has a few times a week. I don't like fish, but I don't have to have fish for it. So, oh, Terry, I've been eating cod lately. Oh, it's so beautiful.
God
So,
is yummy. Okay, the chenille needle has a large eye for ease of threading, yet a very sharp point. The tapestry needle has a large eye with a dull point, and the quilting needle tends to be quite small with a small eye and a sharp point. So C is the answer to that. So yeah, you learned something new.
I did.
Okay, yeah. All right, so here's what's going to be going on this coming week. Thursday's usual live, and I'll be sewing on my PMQ. It'll either be my PMQ or I might just do a scrappy block since the scrappy block was supposed to be for this week. And then I'll be working on the tulip on Friday the 14th. Then the 15th, I'll be working on the charm pack chili. And then Sunday the 16th, Danny and I will be doing episode 2 of uh, Pieces of Mind relating to mental health. And my friend, who you've seen in here a few times, her name is Myra. I call her Sissy. She is a social worker who works with people, and she's going to come in and share some tips and tricks for people on what to do or how to handle a situation when it comes up. We're probably going to talk a little bit about a really touchy subject on Sunday because the reason it's going to come up is because we lost a family member this past week. And he was my age, and we all thought he was happy and go lucky, and then he's not here anymore. And that was another reason I didn't have a live Thursday. I was upset about that. And it hit too close to home. So I think that
it's okay.
sometimes, when you have a loved one, you just don't know that something's going to happen to them. And maybe we can learn, maybe if we talk enough about it, people can give you, suggestions on how you notice when someone's in trouble without, because a lot of times when someone's in trouble, they don't tell you they're in trouble.
Yeah.
I didn't know my first husband was going to do that. And I knew he was depressed. We all knew he was depressed. But, I'm sure there's got to be signs of maybe potential for that kind of thing.
Mhm.
So anyway, that's what we're going to talk about on Sunday. We've kept it light, and this first episode went really well. A lot of people got to stay talk a lot. We didn't discuss how they became depressed or what caused it, but we talked about how toolkits, tips, and tricks of what we could do. And I posted a link so that anyone who feels like they need to talk to someone, there's universal phone numbers for the United States. And then someone sent me a link for international phone numbers, which I posted in the last live in the description box. There's phone numbers for even international. And I found out yesterday that Greenland actually has one. I didn't even know that till yesterday. So we'll be talking about that and what we all can do to, help each other, because sometimes, I Thursday, the reason I didn't have the live was because I was upset and I needed to talk to someone, but I couldn't talk to anyone else. You can't take this to a live because it's not, you don't want your viewers to run away, and I don't want any of y'all to leave because I used my platform to talk about why I was the way I was. So I'm not. But I love you guys. Y'all are my friends. Sorry.
Okay, take your time.
I'm
Yeah,
still upset. Put it that away, but
it's okay to be upset.
when you lose someone, and I really cared about him, that was the problem. I had come to love a lot of Nikolai's family, and when we lost him, I, I can't, I don't get it. I don't understand. Anyway,
Rita said to contact her if you need to talk to anyone. She's there to listen to you.
Rita,
Mhm.
Denise says, I can tell you personally that it is something that I have thought about for over 50 years. Don't know why. And can't say if I would ever carry it out. Some days the feeling is stronger than others. And this is what this new thing that I'm starting for is so that when people are feeling like they don't want to continue, maybe by the time this is done over several months, we'll have a small community built where people will be feel safe enough to come and say, can I come talk to you? Can we talk? Because sometimes just talking through a bad time helps without, alienating everybody around you, because this seems to be a very touchy subject. Some people don't want to hear anything about it, but it goes on in our world, and it's something I wish I had had a toolkit way back then. Sometimes I don't feel like I have a good enough toolkit now, but I have you guys. That's why I do these YouTubes, so I can make friends and share my love of Greenland and everything else. Just this week's been an upsetting week for me, and I'm sorry. Denise says she doesn't have any underlying reason that she knows of. Okay. Anyway, I'll see every one of y'all on the next live. Y'all have a good weekend, and I'm sure I'll bump into someone tomorrow in one of the lives on Sunday or tonight. So have a great weekend, and thank you for coming. Remember to live, laugh, love, and dream. And what do? You make something. So have a good night, and thank you for coming. Night, everyone.